Hi, I have glasses now, kind of. So I recently picked up these Ray-Ban Meta smart glasses. These are the transition lens versions, so clear inside, get a little darker outside. And I had no expectations. I just thought it looked like a cool piece of tech. And as a camera guy, these have a camera built into them. I just kind of wanted to see what it was all about. There was a 30-day return window, so I thought, why not? Let's check it out. And here we are. Over 30 days later, these are now one of my favorite bits of tech I think I've ever bought. I'm not gonna go through all the specs of what exactly these are, but in short, these are glasses with a camera in them that does both photo and video. They have speakers in the temples so you can listen to music, and you can also use those to talk and direct the AI assistant, which is called Meta. And it's just a really cool and helpful, surprisingly effective use of AI. This video is primarily going to focus on the camera of these glasses because that's more my wheelhouse, the photo and video, but I will also touch on some of the features that I really like about these. Just some quick specs. These things have 32 gigabytes of internal storage, which is really nice, and they say that you can get 500 photos and 130-second clips on here, which is a lot. You pull the files off of the glasses using the Meta View app, and it's super easy to do. It's really seamless. It's a good app. All right, let's talk about the camera. The camera on the Ray-Ban Metas is right here, and you can either access that by taking a photo just by doing this, clicking on the shutter button, or if you want to start a video, you just hold that button, and then you can see that this light comes on. And the light is really helpful because it lets you see out of the corner of your eye that you are actually recording in case you weren't sure. And for the privacy of others, if they are clearly not consenting to be in your video, then they can see that you're recording right here. You can also start recording by saying, "Hey Meta," and it just cued in right there. That's the prompt to do everything with these glasses. You can be like, "Hey Meta, start recording," or "Hey Meta, take a photo." And it'll do that for you. And it is currently doing all of those things as I speak. Even with the little light that's on when you're recording, a lot of people probably aren't gonna realize you're recording anything because this is kind of a new concept and you are, after all, wearing glasses. It's a crazy time to be alive. As a photographer, these glasses are awesome to capture some POV footage, whether you're just walking around the street or if you're shooting a concert. You know, for the longest time, I was thinking about getting something like the Insta360 Go series, like the Go 3S, and just wearing that and mounting it on my chest to maybe just get some POV footage if I ever needed it for anything. But I was actually really surprised how well these hold up in low light, and the stabilization is actually really impressive as well. So the footage I've gotten out of these, just walking around shooting things or at a concert, I am more than happy with. But where the camera really shines on something like this is when you're just living your life, walking around, maybe you're on vacation, and you just want to make some memories. You just want to have something to capture the moment really quickly and have that for your memory bank, wherever you store your photos and videos, whether it's on your phone, whether it's on a SSD or your computer or something like that. And it's just so much easier to access this than to grab something like your phone. You know, you can just live in the moment. It's as you saw that thing happen. And when I was recently on a trip in the UK, I really appreciated having the ability to just start a recording and capture scenes without being that guy, looking all touristy, you know, all the time. It was really handy for things like that. I was even able to do the Skol chant at the Vikings-Jets game in London, hands-free, just recording. I mean, that's ballin'. Go! 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 Photos are super seamless on this. You know, you just click the button and there you go. You have your photo. One thing to take note of though, whether it's for a photo or a video, is that whatever you're trying to center up in your frame, maybe turn your head to the right a little bit because the camera is on the left side. So that's just something to think about. So what are the downsides of this camera? Well, it doesn't shoot in 4K, which to me is not a big deal because at the end of the day, these are glasses. Another thing that might be bothersome to some people is that this only shoots in a vertical format because really these are made for social media use, and that's just kind of where things have obviously trended, is the vertical video. It doesn't really bother me so much. Is it possible through a firmware update that they could change it to also have horizontal video? Maybe. I'm sure future iterations of them will, but just know that going into this, that every video is in a vertical format. There is also a 3-minute recording limit to these glasses when you're doing video, which to me is more than enough because I'm just trying to capture some quick clips to capture memories and everything. So unless you're trying to pirate a movie or something in a theater, I think 3 minutes will be plenty of time. Overall, I dig this camera. Let's talk about the speakers on these glasses. They're built into the sides, and sunglasses and glasses in general with speakers have been around for a while, and I always thought it was the most gimmicky thing. I was like, who's listening to music with their sunglasses when we have AirPods and just earbuds and all these different forms of tech? But like a lot of things in life, I was very wrong about the speakers. They're great, they're awesome. It's one of the things I use the most, just walking around, listening to music. When these things transition into, darker sunglasses outside, it's great to just have that noise. I listen to music on these all the time. Since I have the transition ones, when I'm just sitting in my office, I have them on, just some music playing through my Spotify account, which you can link all of those things through your phone to your glasses. And when I'm walking outside, when these transition into sunglasses, just have some music in the background. And nobody even knows you're listening to them. It's crazy. I've sat in vehicles with people and listened to music while still maintaining a conversation and everything. It's a feature that I never expected to use so much, but I kind of can't live without it now. Playing music is super easy too. To start and stop it, you just press on the side. And if you want to adjust the volume, you just slide up or slide down. These glasses are so easy to use. The learning curve is like 30 seconds. And I am genuinely impressed with how good the audio sounds on these, as well as the microphones that are built into it. When you're making a video, just recording whatever conversation you're having, it's crystal clear. The audio is great. Overall speakers, let's go, man. Dig them. Who knew? Kind of like, who would have thought a telephone when we were growing up would become the device that we use for everything? Who'd have thunk that glasses would be used as a means to listen to music? Not me. On to the AI assistant, and if you ever want to use it, you prompt it by saying, "Hey Meta, I just got a message," and it let me know. So what can you do with the AI assistant? Obviously you can ask it anything you want, but since there's cameras built into this is the wild thing. I was walking around London and I just saw this very amazing looking building. And I said, "Hey, look at this and tell me what you see." And it said, "That's the Royal Albert Hall." And it kind of blew my mind, because now, talk about the ultimate tool to have when you're just being a tourist or you're on vacation or just anything in life. If you're curious, you can tell these glasses to look at it and tell you what it sees, and it will. I just thought that was amazing. Or if you're just curious about anything, like I was traveling all across the UK and I was in Dublin and I was like, "Hey, what's the population of Dublin?" And it'll tell you. You can also use it in kind of a chat GPT sense, where you can ask the AI assistant to give you some advice on how to write a caption, or like, what should I headline this with? It can do all of that in these glasses. And another really great thing, especially for travel, is that you can translate things with these glasses. You can tell it to look at a menu and translate what these items are if they're not in English. Tell it to translate it into whatever language you need it to be. And that is such a game changer, because as a person that travels a lot, a lot of places you go do have like English subtitles, but there are things sometimes that you're just curious as like, what does that say? Tell these to look at it, translate it to English, and you'll have your answer, which is mind-boggling. And this is another thing I noticed on my recent trip. I was walking around a lot, just using my Apple Maps app for directions. And if you have the sound on your Apple Maps app, it'll tell you all those prompts through your glasses. So you could just be talking to your friend and be like, "In 150 feet, turn right." That's such a handy thing to have, that's so unobtrusive and not annoying to the people you're with. I mean, how awful is that when you're in a vehicle especially, and the map is just going crazy telling you to follow these directions? It's all right here, so you're the only one that has to hear that. You can tell these to call people. You can accept incoming calls. I mean, it's the phone on your face. You have a computer on your face now. And I can't get over, I just didn't even know these were a thing. Quickly want to touch on the charging case as well. It's made of a really nice material. It has a light on it that lets you know, if the case needs some charging or if your glasses are charged. You just put them in here like you would put your earbuds and your AirPods or whatever, and it charges it. It uses a USB-C input on the bottom. Super easy to use, really nice case. All right, so let's wrap this up. The Ray-Ban Metas are the future. Maybe not necessarily this brand, maybe somebody will come around and do it even better, but for what you get, it's crazy, all the things that you can do with this. And can you imagine future iterations when perhaps your apps from your phone will be like visible through the lenses and everything like that. Kind of like the Apple Vision Pro is right now, something like that, but in a form factor like this. That's when I would totally get into that. I see a headset like the Vision Pro and I'm like, I get it, it's really cool, but I'm just not gonna wear that everywhere. These you can wear everywhere. And one of the things I really love about this concept is we can get back to living in the moment. Because when you can record video through your glasses, there's no more need to be just constantly like this. How much of our life do we just live like this now? We're not living in the moment anymore. We're looking through our screen as the moment is happening in front of us, and we're not even actually watching the moment. You can with these. Maybe if we all got glasses like this, we could get back to living. I know that some people might be bothered that these only shoot in a vertical format, but once again, they are just glasses. And this is an early iteration of them. I'm sure in the future, the ability to shoot videos in all sorts of ways like you can on other cameras will be available and accessible through the software of these. I am happy with the transition versions of these I got. I do wish they got a little bit darker outside, but I get it. I have actually considered buying a dedicated sunglasses version of these, which I guess speaks to how much I really like them. Because now that I have these, I kind of like the fashion sense of it as well. I mean, I'm not a very fashionable person, so to have something that kind of just switched up my look, but is also a very useful tool, I find kind of fun. The functionality and the fashion of it all. And I appreciate how they keep updating the firmware of these. I've only had them a little over a month, and I think there's been like 2 firmware updates, so they're always adding things, refining them. They're making them better, which is great. You hate to see stuff where they just abandon it altogether until the next generation comes out. It shows you that they are committed to having this particular version around for a while, so you don't have to feel like you're left behind if you're a little behind the release date of it. When it comes to price, if you just want to get like the base sunglasses with all the stuff, it's $300. The transition ones like this are like $379. They're gonna cost a little bit more. But when you think about just buying a normal pair of Ray-Ban sunglasses, they're usually right at like $200. So for just $100 extra to get all this functionality, to me is a pretty great value. Once again, I bought these with my own money, and I'm considering buying a second pair of them. I'm a big fan, and if you want to pick some of these up, I'll leave a link in the description. You can check them out. There's a bunch of different designs, colors. It's really cool. So, I mean, like I said, the transitions, they could be a little bit darker. If you want something that can just do it all, the transitions are fine, but if you want like real sunglasses, if that's like the use case you need more, I would recommend probably just getting regular sunglasses. Regular Ray-Ban Meta sunglasses, that is to say. But that's it for this one. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see some more content like this, please subscribe to the channel. Got a whole bunch of stuff in the hopper. So until next time, be excellent. Hey Meta, how should I end this video?
To end the video, say, "Hey Meta, stop recording."
Has this been recording this whole time?